welcome back. My name is Dulcie, and we are here talking about healing and feelings and emotions and parenting with a narcissistic or toxic partner, parental alienation. We're going to cover all the dark, deep, yucky stuff that we go through when we're healing and when we are trying to parent with a toxic ex partner, and how to take care of the children that are in the middle of all of that. And that's really the big main focus, and healing ourselves so we are able to wholeheartedly, authentically take care of our children the way that they need to be. So don't forget, please subscribe, like below so you know when I post more channels. There's lots of good stuff coming on this channel. I'm super excited. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Be the Light in Their Storm, where I post lots of inspirational stuff, also educational stuff, and I'm just there to help guide and support all of you that are going through this and trying to figure this out, most likely on your own. And if you're not on your own, kudos to you for having that awesome support system, so don't let them go. Mwah. So today we're going to do a little more talk on just healing in general. I know I already posted a video, healing, what is that? And today it's going to be more about healing and what to expect while you're going through this process. So healing is not a linear process, first and foremost. Healing is going to take you up. You're going to have moments of low. You're going to have moments of high. And those moments of feeling good may take a while to get to, depending on how much baggage you're carrying inside of you. So for me, I probably really felt like having that first real moment of I actually am starting to feel good was probably a good 6 to 8 months into it. Once I started working with a therapist and my somatic releasing really started happening, that was when I had a lot of forward momentum. In the beginning, it was a lot of just educating and a lot of aha moments, and my conscious and subconscious connecting the dots on things and piecing things together and bringing into light the experiences and things I had been through. And this was mainly just focusing on my past marriage. This wasn't even really diving into the childhood stuff that has come up in the process of healing as well. So for most of us, especially if you're here on this channel and you probably are an empath in some way, you most likely grew up with some kind of childhood trauma that lowered your own power source, your own feelings of self-esteem, self-worth, doubting yourself, not believing in yourself, not trusting yourself. All these things, for most of us, they all happen in childhood, and they stick with us in our subconscious memories and our subconscious mind. And over the years, since we're unaware that we even really have these in us, over the years, as we get triggered, we are triggered back to these childhood moments where we felt like this. And part of healing, especially when you get back to the childhood stuff, is questioning those thought patterns and those beliefs that are coming up and asking yourself if that's really what you believe now. Because, not to get too far down, we'll hit on this in another one, but your subconscious memories for the most part are all created by the time you're age 7. So they're very old thought patterns, they're very old habits. And over the years, as we continue to get abused or have toxic or trauma in our life, and these old emotions get triggered, we add to them. We validate them as they continue to come up and say, oh yeah, I remember feeling this when I was 5 and it made me feel worthless, so I guess this makes me feel worthless as well. And the reality is that's not the truth at all. We're just not aware. No one teaches us that our subconscious stores all this stuff and this is how it works. So we would have no reason to question it. So part of healing is questioning those negative thought patterns and those negative beliefs and actions that we just go through, and we're not even consciously aware we're going through it most of the time. It's just the programming that's in us, and we need to change that programming. The other side of healing, at least in the beginning, when you're really working through the stuff that's most current, is, you're going to have a lot of emotions come up, especially if you've had to suppress them, or you felt like you had to suppress them while you were in your marriage, or even afterwards. From my own experience, I don't remember a lot of the details from my marriage, and a lot of that's because I was living with complex PTSD, and I don't have a lot of memories in general from my childhood or my marriage. So post-marriage, things got really ugly, and we went to court, we did everything we were supposed to do, and the court systems failed my kids and myself, in my opinion. So I didn't feel like I had anywhere to speak my voice to at one point. The court systems weren't behind me. The cops wouldn't do anything. My ex was constantly in my face. My family was on the East Coast, and they were there for me the best that they could. And all of my friends that I had out here were now gone because they were caught up in the throes of everything with my ex and the divorce. And so regardless of how I was feeling, I didn't feel like I had any place to speak it. And I didn't feel like I had any place to vent or let out my frustrations and my angers and my fears. And so I just I kept burying it all. I kept burying it on everything that was already inside of me. So healing is allowing yourself to let go. And it's not easy to do. Our bodies want to hold on to these emotions and these memories and these feelings because it's trying to protect us. So teaching ourselves and allowing our bodies to let go of these things that no longer serve us is easier said than done, but it can be done. And a lot of it comes from talking to your inner self and talking sometimes to the younger child within you that experienced these traumas, or yourself 5 years ago when you were in the tornado that was created when your divorce started or you left, or whatever the source of your trauma with your ex started. And it's talking to that inner person and saying, it's okay. I have us now. I have you. You are safe. And we can let these feelings and let these emotions go. We don't need them anymore. And then just surrendering your body, surrendering to whatever that emotion or that feeling or that sensation is inside of you, and just leaning into it a little bit and allowing it to go. Let it go. You don't need it anymore. The other part of healing is really learning to trust the process. Again, this is not easy to do. It's still a struggle for me at times to just let go and surrender to the universe and God and whatever your spiritual guide is that you relate to, and just surrendering to the fact that you are safe. You're not on this earth to be a failure. You're not on this earth to sit in a corner and question every aspect of your life. You're here to grow. You're here to learn. You're here to let your light shine. And when you've been buried under so many years of trauma or toxicity or whatever you want to call it, your light, you probably don't even know where it is inside of you. In all honesty. So it's clearing out all that clutter that you have within your emotions and your inner world to give that light somewhere to shine and to start experiencing that light from within, and that warm fuzzy feeling that you get when something makes you happy. And maybe, it's just feeling that first sense of feeling happy for yourself in a long time or in life, and being able to start embracing that. And the more you're able to start letting that light shine and embracing that warm fuzzy feeling that it gives you, and that high of I can do this, and embracing it and wanting more of it. And then over time, the negativity and the weights that you're carrying will come off, and you'll feel lighter, and you'll start to be more present, and you'll be more aware of your actions and the things that you're saying and the way you speak to people, and all of those things that maybe are lost right now or just buried somewhere within you are able to start shining and having their moment. And it doesn't always have to be just the negative and the heavy and the yuck. And even though you're still living it sometimes every day, if you're co-parenting or parallel parenting, in a toxic situation, it's always present. But it doesn't have to be the present. It's always going to be there. But it doesn't have to be who you are. It doesn't have to be the forefront of your daily activities and your routines. And eventually it's just going to become something that's, there. It's like a pesky little fly that will never go away. And it just becomes smaller and smaller over time to where you don't even really recognize it anymore. And you can get to that place. You will get to that place as you heal yourself. Healing also has, there's a lot of levels to it. For me, I always saw it as like a video game. I would level up. I would hit, have a dark night of the soul. I would have, one of my rock bottom emotions come up, and then, a day or two later, I would feel amazing. I would feel light. I would feel present. I would feel like I could take on the world. And then the next day, it was like, okay, you leveled up. You had your glory. Now we're going to start back over, and we're going to dig through this next layer of stuff and next level. And it's a cycle. You're going to clear out some stuff, and then your body's going to revisit all those areas and bring in new ones as you go deeper and deeper into the layers of emotions and buildup that you have within your inner world and your body. So be ready for the ebb and flow of the healing. My one recommendation, this is going to sound funny, but my one recommendation is don't waste your money on tissues. Buy yourself a really nice soft towel. And when you have emotions come up, or you're dedicating time to work through your emotions, whether it's through meditation, through breath work, at your therapist, or you just feel it coming up, have a towel. Because I cried a lot. I still cry a lot. And I would probably, if I used tissue sometimes between having to blow my nose and wipe my tears, I would probably go through half a box to a box, depending on the extent of what I was feeling and what I was releasing. So having a towel that you can kind of just work through and not have to constantly try and find a clean tissue and have a mess to clean up afterwards. When you're done, you just throw your towel in the wash and you've got it for your next time. So you're welcome for the tip. Save yourself some money on the tissues. The big thing with healing that I want to put out today is you have to give yourself love. And having self-love at this point may be really hard for you. It may be a foreign concept. You may have no idea what I'm talking about. I struggled with it when it came to that for me, that I needed to start showing myself love, and I needed to start giving myself grace and supporting myself through this healing journey, because you are going to be your biggest supporter in this. And you're going to have times where you're going to question why am I healing? Like, why am I putting myself through this? And you are the one that has to keep pushing yourself and reminding yourself that you're doing this to make yourself a better person, to feel better about who you are, to help heal your children, to live a better, more fulfilling life that's authentic for you, and not living in the shadows and under the depths of someone toxic or evil, for lack of better words. So just remember that, because you are going to have to be your biggest supporter. And self-love in the beginning is giving yourself grace. If you feel tired, or you just cried for an hour and you released all these heavy emotions, that's a physical toll on your body. It's emotionally draining. It's physically draining, depending on, the extent of your emotions and what you're releasing. Your nervous system is going to be out of whack as well. You're trying to regulate your energetic body, which is your nervous system, and you're going to feel exhausted. And that's okay. That's normal. But what you have to do is give yourself that time to rest and allow your body to heal from what you just released. For me, it was easy to, and it is easy to look at it from the sense of, again, for me, everything, it was a lot of somatic work for me and a lot of energetic body releasing. So for me, when I would release something and I would feel it, say, in my heart, release, and I know that, okay, so now I have this, imagine like an empty void within that space where you just released all these negative emotions, that now you need to fill it with positivity. And in order to give it that space to be able to fill it, you have to let it heal. You have to give it time to adjust to not having this void there anymore. And it may feel like it, sometimes your body wants to expand. You want to broaden your chest. You want to raise your arms. You want to, curl your chest in. It's allowing your body to expand and calibrate almost to this new space it has within it, that's not filled with all this yuck and negativity, that you can then turn around and fill it with the joy, the happiness, the self-love that you so desperately need. So self-love, take a bath, light some candles, read a book, binge watch something on TV for a few hours and just rest. Get in nature, go to the beach, have a movie night with your kids, whatever to you sounds relaxing, sounds peaceful. That's where you really want to go when you're talking about self-love in the beginning. It's just giving yourself that safe space and that sense of security in your life and calmness and relaxation. So the last thing I want to touch on this video with healing is, in the healing process, you are most likely going to start opening yourself up to a spiritual guidance of some way. For me, I was completely closed off in that arena for a really long time. So it's taking me, some time to really get into the spiritual aspect of my healing. But it is something that I feel just kind of goes hand in hand. Once you start releasing all these emotions and you become more aware of your body and your own inner workings, you want to start to make sense of it all, because you're going to have stuff most likely come up that you can't wrap your head around. It makes no sense to you. You don't understand how you would have gone through that and not have any actual memories from it. You may not understand how you could go through all this. Like, what's the purpose of you going through all this hurt and all this trauma in your life? And is that what you're here for? You start to really question things, and you need a place to kind of be able to go to get or look for that comfort with those answers. I'm not going to say you're going to get those answers specifically, but you're going to get some comfort and grace by having an area to look to. It could be, some people are, it's a source, it's God, it's Buddha, it's the universe, it's, whatever resonates with you, whatever connects with you. But you are going to want to, really broaden that area, because it's a support system in a way that helps guide you to understanding and making sense of some of the stuff you're healing from, and emotions and traumas that you've been through, and, trying to just connect dots to it. So every person has, I say, five bodies. We have our physical body, which is what we see, and taking care of our physical body is what we eat, what we drink, getting sleep, having movement, staying out of the sun, putting lotion on. All these things is taking care of our physical body. And then we have our emotional body, which is our emotions. And most people are 100% not in touch with their emotional body. They may not even understand all the different emotions and feelings that someone can have, and what they are, and that they're all okay to have. It's okay to have anger. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to want to scream. It's okay to want to cry and laugh. And they're all natural emotions and feelings for people to have. It's learning how to recognize what they are and how to navigate and manage those, so we're releasing them in a proper, safe way that's not harmful to ourselves or others. And that's where I feel a lot of society lacks, is we don't know how to regulate our own emotions and experience those in a safe way, so that when someone gets angry or feels sad or depressed or frustrated, it's lashing out. It's this big explosion, because they don't know how to regulate their own emotions. They probably don't even understand what they are feeling and experiencing, because they were never taught. So in a ways, we're teaching ourselves about emotions and how to regulate our own emotional body. The next body we have is our mental body. That's going to be our brain, our subconscious, and how our thinking and analytics and processing things in our mental brain relates, and how we can manage that, and how we have the ability to overwrite and override things that are in our subconscious, or thought patterns that we have, and learning how to stop ourselves in our track and say, whoa, wait a minute, like, I don't like the way that was about to come out. Let me rethink this for a minute and say something that actually aligns with who I am, and not the traumas that I've been through. So that's where having a therapist, especially on the mental side of things, can really help you move forward in that sense. The next body we have is our energetic body. So our nervous systems are everything. We run on energy. Our bodies are energetic. The things around us all have energy. That's, you shock yourself on something, that's energy. You can put your hands together, and if you play around with it, you can feel a pull between your fingertips or the palms of your hands. That's energy. So if you have, most likely, your nervous system is dysregulated. So you are going to have some energies that need to be balanced and rewired and worked through. And somatic healing and somatic breath work are forms of healing and releasing this, stuck emotions and traumas in our body, because they can get stuck in our energetic level. And when you start healing your energetic body, and you educate yourself on your energetic body, it's Also, it's around raising your vibration. Negativity and traumas and stuff are very negative vibrations, so they keep you low. They keep your vibrations low, so you attract those low vibrations. You attract similar vibrations. And once you start healing yourself and you heal your energetic body as well, your vibrations are going to start rising, and you're going to start pulling in higher vibrating things and better things for yourself versus the low negative ones that you're used to. So it's, again, growing and learning and teaching yourself about this so you can become the best version of who you are here to be. And the last body touching, again, is the spiritual body. So we all, eventually, I'm going to say, we'll have some form of spiritual guidance that we use and that we look to. It, again, maybe Source, God, Buddha, whatever you want to call it. There's tons of different names for spiritual guidances and bodies. So whatever resonates with you is perfect. Stick with it and lean into it. Learn how to use it to help you and guide you on the journey that you are here on this earth. And that's what I've got today on healing. It is a rough, I don't want to say rough, it's a long process, and it can be a very challenging process, especially in the beginning, but it is 100% worth it to work with yourself. And through the process of healing, you're going to learn to love yourself. You're going to learn who you are at the core of you. You're going to learn what your own values are and your own boundaries and your own likes and dislikes. And it's shedding your old skins and your past and letting it be in your past so you can start fresh and new with whoever it is you want to be for you. So thank you for listening. I appreciate all of you. Take the time to find some gratitude and self-love today. With infinite love and gratitude. Namaste.